Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. I'm returning to you for the last video for the night. Hopefully you will enjoy this album review for the long-awaited studio album review we've been waiting on from Hardy. And his new record, Quit, that I got a chance to listen to for myself to see what I was going to think of this record overall. So I'm going to discuss what I listened to for all 13 songs for Hardy's new record, Quit, and let you know my thoughts on this, I guess, plus 40-minute album. So let's dive into this album review. Now it starts with the title track, Quit, which is still a great song, by the way. I haven't really returned to it too much, but after coming back to it, listening through the record, I gotta say I'm still entertained by this track. Good rap verses from Hardy, in my opinion. I mean, it lasted for maybe halfway through the song and close to the end of the song. But it's still a strong track, so 5 out of 5 for sure. Rockstar is kind of a parody off certain bands he's parodying, like Queen, Kiss, mentioning I Ain't Saying That I'm Nickelback, kicking it in Cali with the Day Susu, lyric and all that, so Hardy's kind of poking fun at other bands and all that, so it's pretty interesting. He just dresses up for that shit, and I'm like, wow, that's funny. He did with the Beatles, I guess Kid Rock too, as well, I'm not sure. Limp Bizkit, AC/DC, Kiss, Queen. That's pretty much the basic gist of it, but still a great track and definitely worth checking out. 5 out of 5. Good Girl Phase featuring Chad Smith from the band Red Hot Chili Peppers. I think this was an entertaining track. I really enjoyed this one. Definitely rocks for sure. The verses are very catchy. I really can dig the verses. And when the chorus comes in, it sounds really good. So I really like this track. It's very well mixed. Hardy sounds good vocally in this track, so 5 out of 5. And then comes I Don't Miss, the next track, which is, I don't know, it's kind of talking about him shooting a gun and killing deer and all that, saying I don't miss. There's other references he's mentioning in the track, but still, the track is pretty dope, and I really dig this track, so 5 out of 5. Psycho is still a great track. I still come back to this song quite a lot, even before this album came out, and this is worth listening to. Sorry, my throat got a little constricted for a second. But I'm okay, don't worry, it's just a lot of mucus in my throat still. I'm trying to get it out. As of tomorrow, I think I should be okay to get it out, but I do need to get some rest after this review. So, basically, Psycho is basically talking about the mind of a lunatic, and pretty much it's spreading awareness towards mental health, which I commend Hardy for donating the proceeds from the music video to people struggling with suicide or mental health conditions and all that. So it's thoughts of suicide and all that stuff. So basically, it's best to call the hotline number because they really can help. They've helped me in the past, and I recommend it to anyone that's struggling with any sort of mental illness or whatever. But still, Psycho is a great track, 5 out of 5. Then comes Happy Hour featuring Knox. This one was pretty good, but I don't know, I didn't really connect with it too much. I mean, it was teased for a while, and I'm not saying it's a terrible song, it's just pretty good in its own way. So, I don't know, Knox didn't sound that great in this track, and Hardy kind of got a little repetitious in this track, and it's like, okay, I don't know why they call it happy hour lyrics and all that. And I'm like, eh. Song kind of just goes in a loop. So sorry about my yawning. Um, then comes Jim Bob, which is one of my favorite tracks. I like the lyrics and what it's referring to. A friend, he goes by Jim Bob or something, and he's basically talking about the mindset of what Jim Bob is thinking, feeling, and going through every day. So, and all I know is I'm gonna live this redneck life until it kills me thing. I really like it when Hardy does his screams at the bridge part. Um, Even at the end of the chorus, it sounds really good. So this is a strong track, 5 out of 5. Where Have You Been My Whole Life is how you abbreviate the song. It sounds like YBMWL, but Where Have You Been My Whole Life is what it's called. So, pretty good song. I wouldn't say one of my favorites, but it's good in its own way. So, I'd give it a 4.75 out of 5. I really enjoyed some moments in the track, but it did seem a little melodic. And I think when I listened to the rest of the record, like the second half, it wasn't as strong as I thought it'd be. It was strong with certain tracks. Most of the tracks I could come back to, pretty much all of them, but it just depends on the execution. So, pretty much 4.75 out of 5. Time to Be Dead is a strong track for sure. It's a grower, but I could probably get used to this song for sure. So, I did like Hardy's vocals in this track, and it was a little slow tempoed in a way, but it started picking up later on in the track, and that's where it sounded at its best. So 5 out of 5. Soul for Sale is kind of a weak song. I wouldn't say it's one of my personal favorites. I don't know. This track, the ending got a little better for the song, but the overall execution was where I was kind of like unsure what to think of it. It was like it's pretty good, but it could be better. So for an actual fair score, a 4.5 out of 5 is what I'm feeling for this track. It's good, but it could be better. I don't know, it was kind of weak in some areas in the track. And Fred Durst didn't sound bad, the lead singer from Limp Bizkit. But I don't know, this one was not really my acquired taste. Maybe it'll grow on me, but Hardy at least sounded good in the track. Live Forever is a strong track. It is a little more of a serious song in a way, and I didn't hate these last few songs, but not a lot of energy of what I thought it'd be, but still strong of a track. But still, 5 out of 5. It's still a great track. The lyrics are well written, and I think Hardy sounded pretty strong vocally in this track. Orphan is a really strong track. It's the second to last song before you get to the 6 Feet Under song, which I think is one of Hardy's best tracks, personally. So, Orphan is basically talking about how country music made him an orphan or something like that. That's what it depicted in this track of what I viewed it as. But it's still a strong track in its own way. And I think this was Hardy's pretty interesting track and had some emotional tones to it from time to time. But it still did pretty good. 5 out of 5. 6 Feet Under, Kaylee's song, is a very beautiful track to end this record. Definitely dedicated this to his wife, Kaylee. Which pretty much it was really nice of him to make a song like this. Some of the lyrics are not terrible. I mean, I don't know if they're fairly well written, but I have to go really dive into the lyrics, but I've heard the song many times to know that I really dig this track, and it's a beautiful track to end this album on a really positive note, and to say, oh, well, Hardy made a rock album, and what did I think of it? So, pretty much 5 out of 5. Overall, what did I think of Hardy going in this new direction for a rock record? I think he did pretty well. For the execution of this whole record, it's pretty good. There were some tracks that I don't know if I liked, like Happy Hour wasn't terrible. It was pretty good, but I don't know, I just wasn't connecting with it too much. It got a little repetitious. Where Have You Been My Whole Life was pretty good. It was probably better than Happy Hour, I'll say that. So probably my ratings are going to change. Like Happy Hour might get a 4.5 out of 5. And Soul for Sale will get a 4.5 out of 5 as well. So pretty much, it's a pretty good record. I'd recommend checking it out to see what you think of it for yourself. If it's your acquired taste or not. It's a rock record, so he's trying to fuse country with rock. Now he's going with a hard rock album, which is this record, Quit. And this is something he wanted to do in this direction of music. And I commend him for at least taking risks. And this is what I like about Hardy. He's not afraid to take risks, try something new with his genre blending, and fuse it together to make it sound really well executed in a good way. And he makes it work with the style he goes for. And it sounds pretty fresh and pretty interesting. So, first score for me, I'm giving Hardy Quit, his new album, an 8.5 out of 10. It's a pretty good record. I wasn't sure if I was going to give it an 8.5 or a 9, because I was leaning towards a 9, but I don't think it's worthy of a 9. It's a pretty good record, but I don't know if it's as good as Mockingbird and the Crow, because that one was my favorite, personally. Out of his whole discography, that's probably the best record I've listened to. Quit is pretty strong. Don't get me wrong. It's a strong record, but it's not top tier. It's probably the number 2 pick. It's the second album I'd pick after Mockingbird and the Crow. It's like Mockingbird and the Crow is the top denominator. It's the best, in my opinion. But out of his whole discography, the 2023 album, The Mockingbird and the Crow, is the best record that I've listened to. But still, I'm glad that Hardy got to put out this record. And it sounds really good. I mean, maybe the songs will grow on me. I don't know for sure. Got to give it time and listen to it, but it is replayable, this record. And I'd definitely replay this even at work, too, when I'm working on certain carts I'm putting up for grocery items and all that. But still, strong record. Definitely recommend checking it out. Hardy did a really good job on this record, fusing rock and some country together in this record, and some melodic rock stuff too. But overall, 8.5 out of 10 for Hardy Quit, his new album. Thanks for watching this album review tonight. Have a good night.